What's going on, everybody? This is Bull Run Crypto, and today we're going to talk about Cardano versus Ethereum, what you need to know, what's the differences for those of you who've been invested in ETH or Cardano and you're just curious what's going on. You can also watch our recent video that we did comparing Base by Coinbase on the Ethereum to Layer 2 versus the Solana network, so you can check that out. But let's go ahead and get into this and talk about the main differences. So you can see Cardano versus Ethereum. Cardano and Ethereum are both OG layer 1 blockchains, but Cardano is kind of like a brainchild that spun off of Ethereum. Charles Hoskinson is the founder. He actually used to work with Ethereum, but he created a bit of a different tokenomics system, and he also created a little bit different, faster version, a little bit more conservative than Ethereum. So Ethereum is the most active blockchain ecosystems in the world, or well, one of them, because now Solana has become that. And you can see that it is actually founded by Vitalik. Now let's go in here and take a look at what ChatGPT says when we're comparing them. So which blockchain is better? Cardano and Ethereum are two of the best blockchain contracts, or well, most known contract, DApps, that we know for smart contracts, right? They enable DeFi. So quick comparison, Cardano versus Ethereum. Ethereum founded in 2015 by Vitalik Buterin. Charles Hoskinson created Cardano ADA in 2017. Consensus mechanism, proof of stake. And then they're both proof of stakes, but that was not originally what Ethereum was going to be. Smart contracts, they both have. One is Solidity based, the other is Plutus based. Transaction speeds. Now this is where there's a big difference finally. 15 to 30 transactions per second on the Ethereum mainnet. 250 to 1,000 transactions per second on Cardano currently. But Base does make Ethereum a bit faster, but it's still not as fast as Cardano. Scalability, layer 2 solutions, Optimism and Arbitrum. And then there's a layer 2 or a scalability Hydra scaling solution, which is coming to Cardano. So Cardano continues to seek to improve and get better with time. Transaction fees, $5 to $20 per transaction on ETH. Who's going to pay that? Lower transaction fees are 25 cents per transaction on Cardano. Now that's still not as cheap as Solana. So we could almost be throwing a Solana into the third one here, but we're just going to compare these two for this video here. But just take that into consideration, why you should actually consider watching the Base versus Solana, just because of fees and transaction speed. Now, development approach, iterative development versus research-driven and peer-reviewed. So I would say that Charles Hoskinson is taking more of the academic approach, whereas Ethereum is more kind of like a little bit more rogue. They're a little bit more rowdy. They take a little bit more aggressive approach. That's why I said Cardano's a bit more conservative, because they're doing the research driven and the peer reviewed stuff, which is definitely very academic style. DApps and DeFi. Strongest DeFi ecosystem, Uniswap, Aave, and OpenSea. And then here's the thing that Cardano is lacking, still growing, fewer DApps. Not very many developers are building on Cardano right now. You could say the same thing about the NFTs, okay? It's not really getting much development. Decentralization, 600,000 plus validators, 3,000 plus stake pools. So Ethereum is still way more established than Cardano. And until Cardano starts having more dApps, those validators, I don't really see them coming in, because they're still going to want to flee or still go with maybe Solana, or in this case, Ethereum. Sustainability, lower energy use post-merger. Okay, so it's not as high energy usage, energy efficient from the start. So that was something that Charles brought over from Ethereum. Faster, cheaper, and less or more eco-friendly. So that's been a big thing for Cardano that has that advantage. And even if we look and compare Cardano versus Ethereum, like if you just look here, circulating supply for Ethereum, 120.56 million ETH, okay, are in circulating supply. And if you look, total supply, 120 million. We don't know what the max supply is, but it looks like it's going to be infinite. And then if you come over here to Cardano, you can see right here, max supply 35 billion. So it's going to have a much cheaper price per coin. That's why Cardano is 78 cents and Ethereum is 2,500 right now. It's been as high as 4,000 in the past, and we expect it to go even higher than that. So it's a lot easier to get your hands on a Cardano ADA than it is to get your hands on an ETH, right? So that's something I think plays a factor for the retailers. First mover advantage is something that Ethereum has. Largest DeFi ecosystem, billions locked in protocols like Uniswap, Aave, and Curve. Strongest NFT market. NFTs, we'll see where that ends up going moving forward if RWAs replace that anyway. Layer 2 solutions, roll-ups like Optimism, Arbitrum. Obviously, we talked about Base being another thing that's a layer 2. Highly secure, decentralized, that's very important. The weaknesses, high and expensive gas fees. Slow, it's a slow network, gets a lot of bottlenecking and clogging. Not fully developed yet, so they're still rolling out the upgrades. Best use case is DeFi, NFTs, enterprise blockchain solutions. Cardano's strength built on strong specific research. Every upgrade is peer reviewed before implementation. Energy efficient POS from one day. No need for energy heavy mining. Lower transaction fees. ADA transactions are cheaper than ETH. Yeah, we know that. Most everything except for Bitcoin is cheaper than ETH, but they've even got Lightning. Strong academic partnerships used in governance, education, and developing countries. Decentralized staking, over 3,000 staking pools, making it highly decentralized. Delayed smart contract adoption makes it very slow, or very, it's just not getting the attention from builders. Fewer DApps and DeFi projects. Slower development, research first approach. So it's kind of like we're all like, well, Charles, are you just going to continue to research and just go to college for the rest of your life? You're going to go get a real job, like that person who just keeps going to college. It's like they've got the 3 doctorates and they're 40 years old, and you're like, okay, are we ready to work in an actual hospital here, be a doctor, or what are we doing? It's kind of like what most people say. That's like the biggest knock on Cardano. And that, if you say that to someone who holds Cardano, they get really triggered by that, by the way. So, because they feel as though there is development happening. So it just depends on who you are. I do hold plenty of Cardano myself. I've been holding Cardano for many years. Delayed smart contract adoption is a weakness. We talked about that. Slower development. Sustainable finance and governance projects are good use cases. Long-term blockchain research and innovation. Lower cost, scalable smart contracts. So which one at the end of the day? Well, Cardano's faster, it's cheaper, but layer 2, Ethereum is ahead of them with that. I would say tokenomics goes to Cardano. It's easier for retail to get their hands on a Cardano. Future TPS goal, 100,000 transactions per second with the rollups. And even when the rollups happen or the enhancement happens with Hydra, it's still going to be faster, almost 10 times faster is the anticipation for Cardano. So ETH just can't shake the slowness. So I don't really see why people would prefer to build on something that's cheaper and more expensive over time. But that's something that could be solved by security, right? Some people just take security over everything. But you could see, we've talked about the price. Final verdict, blockchain should you use? Well, the truth is, everyone's using Ethereum over Cardano. Cardano is just not being used. But if you ever got to a point where you wanted research-driven blockchain scalability, lower transaction fees, and long-term innovation and sustainability, then Cardano may be your one. But we'll see what ends up happening with the layer 2s. So final thoughts, well, Ethereum is already battle-tested while Cardano is still evolving. So what is Charles hiding? That's what I want to know. What is Charles hiding? Why isn't he coming out and letting the Cardano blockchain fully unleash itself? How come Solana was able to basically pass up Cardano really quickly like that? I'm not saying that Solana is necessarily ahead, but in terms of adoption, they are, okay? You can see right here, Solana at 6, Cardano being at 9. Cardano is a lot older, but I still prefer the tokenomics for Cardano over all of them. It's very similar to what you see with XRP. So anyways, which one do you guys prefer? Which network are you holding? Are you an ETH holder? an ETH maxi, or just someone who is standing on the sidelines watching, or are you a Cardano ADA Army person? See you guys on the next one from Bull Run Crypto.